I'm the French Spy, and welcome to my toy room. Today I'll be doing an unboxing of Wargames Atlantic's Age of Chivalry Foot Knights from 1150 to 1320, and Foot Serjeants from 1150 to 1130, or no, to 1320. Each of them has 24 hard plastic multi-part 28mm figs. I picked these up to play with in the Baron's War. They might get some double duty. I might use them for a saga as well. I don't know. But regardless, I want to see. I'm just getting into it, so I want to see what these have to offer. Boxes are cool. Has a nice piece of art of some knights right here. I think this was the first kit they released for this line. And then you can see some of the different loadouts of the characters, and piece of art right there. On the back you can see some different loadouts, and it says Ad Mortium in Micus. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Death to the enemy. Sons of noble birth, the knights of the 12th and 13th century Europe were kings of the battlefield, heavily armed and armored. Few could stand in their way. Vassal to a lord, they paid for their service through land and other riches handed down to them by their liege. Each knight practiced constantly to become master of weapons and horse while holding elite ranks in medieval society. Eventually, the adoption of colored banners, shields, and surcoats led to the rise of heraldry. The ideals of chivalry rarely met the morality of the day as embodied by the warrior elite. Alright, so we'll take a look and see what's in this box, and then take a look at the sergeants, which says servants of war. Sergeant, taken from the Latin servings, meaning to serve, were the lower ranking warriors of the Lord's army. Whereas knights typically came from a noble background, the sergeants rose up through the ranks, professional soldiers. They were well armed and armored and played a significant role in the armies of the time. So the lower ranks in your army is made up of some sergeants. Got another piece of art right there. It's got the full piece on the side, and then the different loadouts you could make with the box. So we'll I'm gonna pop these open. Let's see. Let's see if there's any tape holding. No tape. All right, we're off to a good start. And let's see if I can change up the camera so you can see a little bit better. All right, so let's get into the box and see what comes on the sprues. Let me see if they are identical. So pull two out, and you can see, what do we got here? It looks like swords, some axes, some maces, bodies. There's a bit of each on each sprue. Looks like there are what is it? 3, 6, like 12 heads. So that's a nice amount to mix and match, especially amongst 24 figures. Some reuses on like 2 is not too bad. Especially with the, oh no, there's even more heads on here. So I see, so there's the 12 right here, and then there is there's another head in the center. I don't know if that's like a commander's head or if it's any different, but oh no, that is a helmet being held underneath an arm. So I guess we're still back at 12. Now let me see, is this the exact same sprue? I believe so. So 2 of those. So 4 sprues, and it looks like it's the same loadout on each of them. So yeah, we got some shields, some swords, and short, like some smaller shields and larger shields. a two-handed axe. And so, is there anything different here? I don't see any like ranged weapon on any of these guys, but here's all the knights, so that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at what's in the Foot Serjeants box. Another, assuming it's going to be the same thing with identical sprues on each one. So let me just pull out a couple of this just to be sure. So what do we got here? Some shields. It looks like, where are the heads? The faces on here already? Looks like it. And oh, we got more heads on this one. So we got like 10, 20 different heads. So there's a good amount of differences here. What else do we have? Looks like swords. Oh, there is a crossbow. There's multiple crossbows. 1, 2, 3 crossbows. It looks like there's some. Looks like there's a sling here of some sort, so you can throw some rocks at somebody. No, that's just a hand. I'm just making that up. What else do we have? We got a big spear. That's pretty cool. And swords. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some of each, maybe mix up some parts and see what I come up with, and then I will be back. Thanks. Okay, I was able to create a handful of both knights and sergeants. I made 6 sergeants, and I made like, what is it? 8 sergeants and 6 knights. And they had there was a lot of variety, as you've seen on the sprues from before. And what I like, reading the rules a bit more, I'm going to have to just tighten up my choices, because it looks like each of your units of however many guys you're putting in a unit together pretty much has to have identical loadouts for their weapon choices in the standard Baron's War rulebook. So if you're gonna go with a group of 4 or 5 guys with what do you call it, swords and medium shields, the whole unit has to be loaded out that way. I thought it was going to be a little bit more individualized, but maybe I was reading it wrong. But that's from what I could tell, that's the way it looked to me. It's pretty cool. Like, this was I think a standard bear. Put a flag on that, and or banner, and have a nice little different option. So the knights, I always have a lot of fun whenever I get to do like a multi-part kit, because you can start digging into your bin of bits and start getting creative. But I didn't even see a need for that yet, because I hadn't built any of these guys yet. I don't start going off the rails until I feel like I've exhausted my options. And so I was sticking to this just yet for my first couple about just, sticking to what was on the sprues and just building some basic builds. So got a sergeant with a spear, and then another sergeant with just a sword and shield. Got to clean them up a little bit more with a blade. I was just excited to get them together and see how easy they were to build. And yeah, there wasn't any problems. The normal hurdles of whenever you got 2 hands that are touching the same weapon and it's not lining up properly. There was a couple hiccups I had, but nothing crazy or that gave me any extra white hairs or anything like that. The crossbowmen come in the sergeant kit, and we got some sergeants with swords and medium shields, and then a couple of bardiche Bardichet, however you say it, Serjeants. So yeah, I have to use some discipline, focus, and make sure I want my guys, to be WYSIWYG. So what you see, what you get. So I want all of the if I want to have guys with mail and the Bardiches in a unit, I want to have like 3 to 5 of them, and then the ones that are just in cloth, the same. So I've got to just not go too crazy. It does have potential for me to buy more boxes, to be honest. So Wargames Atlantic, help. this could get a bit pricey, but for the most part, I was looking to be able to create 2 like starter armies for our warbands for the game, and I think I can do it with these 2 boxes. I've got some metal horses, so it's for the cavalry, and yeah, I'm excited. So I didn't mix any of the other parts yet. I haven't gotten that far along. Like I said, I was having a good time just with what was on each sprue so far. I might get a little more creative as I go on, but first 6 knights and 8 sergeants were cool enough. Oh, and another interesting note that I didn't cover already was in the sergeant's box there was a sprue of just where'd it go? Of just the parts for like the pole arms, which I thought was awesome. Like, this will get a lot of use. Like, if I want my knights to have spears or anything along those lines, or bardiches, that's cool. That this is just a legit just bits sprue that this was not the case in the knight's box. So in the sergeant's box, I feel a little more flexibility for your builds, and it seems like a very important sprue, to be honest, because the spears, pole arms seems to be play pretty heavy in this game. So I'm happy for that. So, and looks like I can make a solid amount of minis with what's on here. So yeah, excited for it. But yeah, this is it's been pretty fun, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Just like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Wargames Atlantic miniatures, and have a good one.